stay up on. Get it wedged in just right. It's too cheap to buy a stand. Spend all my money on rocks. Alright. Been at my mom and dad's riding the boat, fishing and skiing all weekend. But I bought some rock. I got some percussion. This is one of the goofier shaped little amoebas in it, and I want to hit it. So no bueno, missed. Gotta find my range. Put these in a special spot so I can come back to them, because this is good stuff. And I mean, this thing is about as funky shaped as you get, so I mean, you kind of got a plan where your point want your point to be. So my point's probably going to be out here. I'll just get spalls and junk out of this, but my blade or whatever I'm gonna make is going to be in here. So this is the main area that I need to work on, and it's pretty thin right there already. So I got to be kind of careful what I do. Big bulb down here I got to get off. It's really thin right there in that neck area. And it's got a big bulb underneath. I've got to get down to that from one of the sides so I can get to it. Uh-oh. I gotta get a little better organized with my stuff. Got some nasty little hinge right here now. This wasn't big enough to drive back into that mass. You gotta use enough gun. Hitting out here on a Cortex is real, it's not real good. It's kind of like a shock absorber. It doesn't ever carry very well. Trying to turn this edge a little bit and square that face up some. It's going to start driving back into there and hinging. Just like that. But I've got to do something to get down to that. Nastiness right there. that did some good. This stuff is beautiful. Indians in Central Texas were really lucky. Pick some good places to live rock-wise, that's for sure. You don't get much better than this. A lot of cortex in that. That didn't do very good at all. Kind of funky right there. I don't know if that's where maybe there was a failed strike with the big one when we were trying to take test balls off of it. I kind of think so, because that flake shattered all the Kingdom Come. Stuff's sharp. And I don't get a chance to work big rocks, so this is not my area of expertise. I missed again. Kind of a hard spot getting up into this because I have to, my popper's got to get around that. So I'm gonna move on to something else. I'm not gonna sit there and keep trying to do the same thing. I'm screwing up. Louisville. Got it. Got up into the platform some. Yay, yay, yay. This is a problem. I should have used my big spoiler to drive all the way across that, but it drove, and when it hit this little nodule in here and it got thicker, it just didn't have the power to get through there. And there's not really a good spot to get into this place right here. You see a rabbit, Zoe? A little bottleneck right in here. It'd be real easy to break that off. I'm gonna tilt it way up and hit with something big and heavy and just kind of drive me off a big face that I can work with. I get nervous working with this big rock. I want to try to make a point, that long. I don't want to lose any length, or as little length as possible. So I've got a big, thick mass in here with this face. I want to hit pretty high up into the platform so I can drive back across here. This bulbous thing here creates an area of concavity down in here, so my flake is not going to run very far, and I'm probably going to have another hingy little thing happen. Kind of did what I wanted it to. Amazing. I have figured out one thing though, if you want to look good on video, you need to work good rock, because bad rock will make you look like an idiot. It's crushing. Well, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. That broke that completely off, which is fine. There was nothing I could do with this piece down here anyway, but I wanted to break it down to some form of platform, series of platforms that I could use to attack this other area. So now I've got a big straight face, which is not all that great. I'm thinking there was a crack or something in there from when we were test balling it, or getting dropped or something. I would like to think that's not my fault, but it probably is. That one did a lot of good. And if you noticed, I tapped on that after I struck it the first time. It didn't let loose. It stuck on there and drove right underneath that big kind of, it's not a hinge, but it's where the rock, where the crack dove up to come out of the rock. I undercut that, but when I hit it the first time, that flake didn't detach. I could see the crack, so I tapped on it just a little bit more, and it came loose. So we did some good. I've got this little hinge over here, but I don't think that's going to be a problem now. I mean, it's so close to the side, I'll be able to get that out of there. And I mean, these bladelets are just sharp, as sharp can be. I love these Percussion Amoebas. I think God made them so Indians can make great arrowheads and hunt. And there's areas in here where this cortex is a lot thicker in some places. That hit was almost all cortex. And this real thick chalky cortex, that limestone, whatever it is, I mean, it's like a gigantic shock absorber. You hit it and it doesn't do jack squat. I've had some root beer that's had a lot of that stuff on there, and I mean, you can't hardly get into it because of it. Just spalling this thing down, trying to reduce the mass and keep, this is still the section that we were talking about keeping, and try to flatten that thing down efficiently and pull spalls off of it in the process to make other tools out of, or make other points out of. I love it when those flakes, when I hit it, I feel the flake jump right underneath my finger and it just comes off. I felt that flake run all the way out to where my finger was. And it came off just perfect. Love that. I'm running out of light, running out of time. I haven't eaten dinner. I just got back from mom and dad's from skiing with the kids, tubing all weekend. I bought this rock while I was up there from a guy that was selling some, and I couldn't resist hitting on it a little bit before we went in for the evening. So I'm gonna call it quits before I screw something up. And God, dog, this stuff is nice. And hopefully we'll get a blade right like that, right out of this section of stone right here. But I don't ever get to work big rock. Very seldom do I get to work pieces like this. So this is a big learning experience for me, but we'll see what we can't get out of it. I said I was going to quit, didn't I? And I didn't. Probably going to cost me here in a minute, so I am going to stop now because it's getting really dark on the video. We got her good and flattened out. We got one little area of a thickness in here where this hinge is, but we got her pancake down a lot more controllable, got rid of a lot of the problems. And I mean, this stuff is beautiful. This stuff is raw and it flakes like a dream. So we'll continue working on it and see if we can't get into here and drive across this and blow that ridge off without breaking this thing in half. And if we can do that, I think we got a real good shot at getting a pretty nice blade out of this. So until next time. Come on, Joe Bill. Ooh, this stuff is awesome.